Hayalperestlerin, risk alanların, denemekten korkmayanların cesaretinden doğduk. Bizi asla yarı yolda bırakmayan o sesin rehberliğiyle ilerlemeye ve öğrenmeye devam ediyoruz. Bunun için varız. Bu yüzden gece geç saatlere kadar lambalarımız sönmez. Elveda demek hem hüzün hem de gurur verir. Her şeyi sorgulayarak ve merakımızı besleyerek, dayanıklılığımızı test ederek, sınırlarımızı aşarak, ilerleyerek ve yeni ufuklar açarak yeni bir yol buluruz. Yeni icatlar çıkararak, kendi yolumuzu çizerek. Burası fikirlerin doğduğu ve yeni fikirleri doğurduğu, bizim de doğduğumuz, birlikte büyüdüğümüz ve yükseldiğimiz yer. Burası Yakın Doğu Üniversitesi.
Hello everyone, dear colleagues. Welcome to Third International Conference on Water Problems in Mediterranean countries, as well as Sixth International Conference on Natural Resources and Sustainable Environmental Management. This is our third session. We are in room 2. I will be your moderator, and you will have 15 minutes of time allocation for each presentation. And next presenter is Dr. Hadi Prali. If he is ready, we can listen to him. Dr. Hadi Prali, if you are ready, we can listen. You might be muted. Please unmute your microphone and we will try again. Dr. Hadi Prali, your microphone and camera is turned off at the moment. Dr. Hadi Prali, can you hear me? If you have any connection issues, you can also write from the private chat. Or if you are not ready, we can continue with Dr. Özge Yaren Türkseven. Dr. Özge Yaren Türkseven, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
If you are ready, you can present.
Okay.
Okay, we can listen to you.
I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Right now, no, but if you open the power slide, yes, exactly, and please make it full page. Yes, right now it is perfectly all right.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Özge Yaren Türkseven. I am a master's student at İzmir Institute of Technology, Department of International Water Resources. Firstly, I would like to thank to the organizing committee, and also I want to thank my supervisors Alper Baba and Orhan Gündüz. Today, I want to discuss innovative solutions on water management for islands under climate change. In my presentation, I will cover 5 major aspects. Firstly, I will introduce you to the aim of the presentation, then impact of climate change on water resources, then the role of the groundwater recharge in island ecosystems, and innovative approaches for water management. Afterward, I will touch on steps for future for Bozcaada Island and the final conclusion and recommendations. Water is necessary for all survival, all living organisms. Groundwater is also crucial for sustainable water supply. As the scarcity and quality of water resources continue to be growing concern, the importance of researching groundwater, a renewable resource, and its quality is increasing every day. Climate change is a critical global issue that directly impacts ecosystems and water supply. The sustainable management of water resources, in addition to effective groundwater recharge, is crucial for the ongoing health of island ecosystems. Island ecosystems, with their limited areas, are highly susceptible to the effects of climate change and changing hydraulic cycles, making them an essential area of study. Sustainable management of the water resources, in addition to effective groundwater recharge, is crucial for ongoing health of the island ecosystems. The plot shows how much global annual average temperatures for the years 1880 between 2021 have been above or below the 1881 between 1910 average. The temperature for years warmer than the early industrial baseline are shown in red. Temperatures for years cooler than the baseline are shown in purple. Since the 1880s, global average temperature has warmed around 1 centigrade degree Celsius. With an increase of only 1.5 degrees, 2 months of average drop 41% more burned area in wildfires. Production of various agricultural products suffers. Sea level rise displaced 46 million people, and coral reefs would decline by 70 between 19%. In case of a 4-degree increase, the most frequent and extreme drought, high level of food insecurity, risks for 417 between 700 million people with a 9-meter sea level rise. Half of all predatory animal species face local extinction are predicted. The impact of temperature increases throughout the globe, including the rise in the sea level, melting glaciers, alterations in precipitation patterns, and soil moisture changes, has a significant consequence on water resources. The photo on the right shows a potential scenario of future sea level rise in South Beach, Miami, Florida, with a global temperature rise 2 centigrade degrees Celsius. Groundwater levels and aquifer regimes play a pivotal role. Typically, rural areas in arid and semi-arid regions depend on groundwater as the primary source of drinking and utility water. The photo on the left is the hydrological profile of a water source. In numerous locations, groundwater and surface water are intermediately interconnected, serving as a singular resource. Coastal aquifers suffer seawater intrusion and sea level rise, which leads to reduced collectible water volume. This reduces productivity in agricultural areas. Groundwater resources provide drinking water for over 1.5 billion individuals, while simultaneously offering irrigation water for roughly 40% of the world's agricultural land. Climate change leads to a reduction in water resources and an increased demand for groundwater due to population growth and increased water demand. It's projected that global water demand will reach 4.350 billion cubic meters in terms of withdrawal by 2040. Groundwater systems have a snow renewable rate, with rainfall renewing the resource at a much slower pace than the rate of the water withdrawal. In the last few decades, the growth in water demand has doubled that of population growth. Regionally, water demand growth is expected to come mostly from developing countries in Asia. Island ecosystems are often unique and natural systems. Achieving sustainability in these ecosystems depends on factors such as groundwater recharge. Like the left photo, it serves as the primary source of nutrition for lakes, streams, and wetlands in island ecosystem, profoundly affecting vegetation, habitats, and the water cycle. In this way, it ensures the continuity of species by promoting water circulation between ecosystems. The salinity and balance of groundwater is critical for the continuity of islands' vegetation and the welfare of living things. Surface water is often scarce, especially on small islands, and people depend on groundwater sources. Additionally, due to their location, surface waters are vulnerable to natural disasters such as hurricanes, floods, droughts. In addition to natural challenges, human challenges such as overpumping, waste, tourism, and management of sewage also negatively impact water resources. When recharge rates decrease and overpumping occurs, the aquifer is depleted, leading to seawater intrusion, ultimately causing irreversible degradation of groundwater quality. The island of Cyprus, situated south of Turkey, has been grappling with water resource issues for several years. TRNC is in a semi-arid climate zone, typical of the Mediterranean climate. The summers are hot and dry, while the winters are warm and rainy. Although the TRNC generally experiences similar climatic characteristics, there are significant differences between the coastal and inland areas. The Beşparmak Mountains, extending in an east-west direction on the north, cause this situation. This mountainous region is the primary factor that affects the temperature and rainfall conditions felt between north and south of the country. Natural and artificial water resources are of vital importance in the face of increasing needs and demands with the increasing world population. In addition to be used primarily as drinking and utility water, it's also extremely important in agriculture, industry, and tourism. However, TRNC's potential in this regard is quite low. Low annual precipitation and high temperature and evaporation cause most of the precipitation that falls to the ground to be lost. For this reason, there are no lakes or dams large enough to meet the needs. The best way to achieve a long-term solution to TRNC's water problem was seen as transporting water from Turkey to the TRNC via pipeline. In this context, the TRNC water supply project was implemented. The actual implementation of the project started 2012. The project is to transport the water collected in Alaköprü Dam, built on the Anamur stream in the south of Turkey, to the TRNC through high-density polyethylene pipes. The pipes, which started to be sunk into the sea from Turkey, are suspended 250 meters below the sea level, thanks to the weights placed at the regular intervals on the seabed. The maritime transmission line, which is 80 kilometers long in the total, is only project in the world with this structure. Bozcaada is another island that meets its water needs from the land in Turkey. It is in the west of Turkey and belongs to the province of Çanakkale. Bozcaada is under the influence of Mediterranean climate. Summer months are generally hot and dry, and the winter months are mild. Since the island has a small surface area like 40 kilometers square, there are no long and branching streams on the island, but there are streams that are weak in the winter and completely dry in the summer. On the island, which does not have a continuously flowing water network, a part of the drinking and utility water needs is provided by the groundwater source known in Papazbahçe. Bozcaada water problems has become more evident with the increase in the population on the island, the inadequacy of water resources, and the increasing tourism activities, especially in the summer months. Since the existing water resources of the districts are insufficient, the water needs have been met from the mainland. A project was initiated in 1992 to collect drinking water from Kaz Mountains located between Çanakkale and Ezine, and bring drinking water to Bozcaada from the seabed. With the project, a total of 5,780 meters of drinking water lines, 4,519 meters of which are under the sea, were completed in 2020. Water needs of the districts were met. Due to severe water shortage in some regions of Turkey in recent years, there has been greater emphasis on developing some projects to obtain fresh water from seawater. As seen in the photo, located in the northwestern part of the country and affiliated in Balıkesir, Avşa is an area that receives many tourists but lacks any drinking water resources. Therefore, the local government implemented a seawater purification project on the island. You can see this in the photo. In 2008, a facility was established on the island to meet its water demand. The facility draws seawater from 465 meters, passes it through the sieves and sand filters, of which 50% is processed by reverse osmosis, before being transferred back into the sea. The facility expected to guarantee Avşa Island clean water needs until 2040. Climate change, increasing population, expansion, irrigated agricultural areas, HDC. These are factors that negatively affect the world's increasing water demand. 25% of the world's population, more than 2 billion people today, is expected to suffer from water scarcity. Especially regions with semi-arid and arid climates are the first to be affected by this famine. According to the assessment standards set by the Water Framework Directive, the main cause of 75%, the poor chemical studies observed 9% of groundwater bodies in the decrease in groundwater levels. The reasons include the increasing population and the unconscious use of groundwater caused by this population, insufficient rainfall due to the climate change, and therefore drought-prone conditions. Nature-based solutions should be developed to increase and protect groundwater recharge. These solutions may include improving natural systems such as restoration of wetlands, measures to prevent erosion, and protection of vegetation that retains and filters water. For example, surface water resources should be replaced by underground water resources, and the continuity of these resources should be ensured. One of the best approaches to ensure continuity is to protect water storage areas such as dams from increasing temperatures and evaporation amounts by undergrounding them, and to increase the groundwater level by filling these areas with water. Another possible solution to improve water security is the use of rainwater harvesting, which allows water to be collected directly at home. Such systems can provide all of a household drinking water supply, depending on a certain environmental and social conditions. The agricultural sector, which is a sector where the water resources used excessively and unconsciously, it's also an area that is very open to innovative developments. With developing sensor technologies, farmers can monitor their products and obtain more efficient products with adequate irrigation according to the needs of the soil and the product. Steps for future for Bozcaada Island. As ISTEC Group, we are a part of the NatWet project. Our plans in this project include obtaining an underground dam by accumulating water in the aquifer, preventing seawater intrusions by creating a salinity map of the island, thus making groundwater more productive, using sensor technologies to accurately determine the needs of the soil and products and irrigate accordingly. Our biggest goal is to enable Bozcaada to meet its needs within its own water cycle in a sustainable manner with nature-based solutions. In conclusion, for the sustainable use of groundwater, it is vital to establish an expanding cooperation network, starting from local communities, and to carry out awareness-raising activities. The combination of many factors such as education, awareness, and creation of policies for a responsible use of water, technological innovations, nature-based solutions, and the implementation of these efforts are of vital importance in terms of protecting underground water resources and ensuring water reliability for future generations. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Yaren Türkseven, for your valuable insights. If we reach Dr. Purali, he will also have some presentation. Dr. Hadi Purali, are you here? I think Dr. Hadi Purali is having some connection issues. Okay, I think Dr. Purali unfortunately disconnected. Therefore, Dr. Özge Yaren Türkseven was the last presenter or our last session for our conference. Dr. Hadi Purali, I can see you right now. Can you hear me? Dr. Hadi Purali, are you able to hear? I think we are having some disconnection, connection issues. If you are having connection issues, we will reach you. I have my notes about you. We will definitely reach you, and we might even arrange some time for you to present, most probably tomorrow. So, everyone, this is our last presentation was done by Dr. Özge, and I especially thank to her. And thank you for all attending from the beginning to the third International Conference on Water Problems in Mediterranean countries. Thank you all, and tomorrow we will continue, and tomorrow again we will continue with additionally 6th International Conference on Natural Resources and Sustainable Environmental Management. Thank you all for attending.
Hayat hızla akıyor ve biz bu hızı seviyoruz. Her güne heyecanla başlıyor, her anı doya doya yaşıyoruz. İlk günkü heyecanımızla yılları aşıyoruz. Zaman akarken biz de kendimizi arıyoruz. Heyecanla, merakla. Sen de kendini mi arıyorsun? O zaman zamana yetiş. Bu sadece kendini bulmakla ilgili değil. Asıl heyecan kendini yaratmakta. Bir şeyler mi yaratmak istiyorsun? Mükemmel. Metali işlemeyi, bir bina yapmayı, bir iş kurmayı, hatta bir şehir kurmayı öğren. Hayat kurtarmak, teknoloji geliştirmek, üretmek. Hepsi burada. Ve burada tüm deneyimler profesyonellerle yan yana. Ancak hızlı ilerlemeliyiz. Çünkü bugün şimdi gerçekleşiyor ve yarın çok yakın. Hayatta öne geçmek istiyorsan önce zamanın önüne geçeceksin. Hep ileri gideceksin. Bu Doktor Suat İrfan Günsel. Tanıyor musun? Onun da söylediği gibi. Üniversiteler toplumların dokuma tezgahıdır. Toplumları geliştirir, dönüştürür ve gelişmesini sağlar. O burayı bugünden yarına hazırlamak için kurdu. Senin için, ileriye gitmek için. Yana ya da geriye değil. Sadece ileri. Çünkü gelecek çok yakın. Hadi harekete geç. Fikirlerin ne kadar ileride olursa yarına o kadar yaklaşırsın. Yanındakileri de geleceğe taşırsın. Bu senin geleceğin, senin fırsatın şimdi. Hadi yarın yakın. Hepimizi ileriye götür.
Everyone, I think we reached Dr. Hadi Prali. Dr. Hadi Prali, if you are able to present, you can present. But before that, can you speak so that we will be sure that we can see you and we can hear you?
Yes, I can present. Just one moment, I can, if you give me.
Okay, no worries. I think you had so much disconnection issues, so we are here. You are next. Whenever you are ready, please tell us. Dr. Hadi Prali, you can use the present option from downside and select your presentation so that we will be able to see it. Right now, we can see your screen, but right now, of course,
Yes, you can, excuse me, just one moment.
no
You can
worries.
see my screen?
You can take your time, no worries.
You can see my screen now?
No, not right now, not right now. We can only see you and hear you. Yes, right now we can see your presentation. If you are ready, you can present.
Yes, thank you. Forgive my. I have a little connection issues.
No
Can I
worries.
start?
Yes, you can. By the way, please don't forget to open your camera.
Just a moment.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, thank you for having me. I am Hadi Purali from the Civil and Environmental Department of Tabriz University. Our topic is about flood risk and hazard mapping of Minnesota using remote sensing. Here are the contents in brief. Floods, a natural phenomenon, bear the weight of an unseen torrent that disrupts lives, reshapes landscapes, and leaves a lasting mark on societies. Floods can cause power, water, and gas outages, disrupt transportation routes and commercial supplies, pollute drinking water system, damage home, build environmental problems, including landslides, and etc. Throughout the last century, the central region of the United States has experienced a recurrent pattern of significant flood events, exemplified by occurrences in 1993, 2008, 2011, 2013, and 2014. Clay County in northwest Minnesota in America, known as the Land of 10,000 Lakes, faced various flood risks due to its geographical features, weather patterns, and land use. Clay County faces flood risks primarily from the Red River, which forms the border between Minnesota and North Dakota. The county topography combined with its proximity to Red River make it susceptible to flooding, especially during the spring snow melt and heavy rainfall events. The notable flood events in Clay County happened, we can mention 1997 flood affected Clay County, causing extensive damage to homes, infrastructure, and agricultural land. Here our literature review, Dr. Corgialis and his co-worker at 2011 delves into flood management strategies using GIS modeling techniques to evaluate flood-prone zones. Various parameters such as topography, land use, hydrological data, and historical flood information are integrated and analyzed using GIS tools. Dr. Yahaya and his co-workers focused on assessing flood-prone areas in the Hidayah-Jama River basin using multi-criteria analysis approach. By integrating and weighting these criteria, the research generates flood vulnerability maps that provide valuable insight for better understanding the area at high risk of flooding. Dr. Ozan and Terhan at 2016 utilized GIS and the weighted overlay method to identify and assess flood risk in the city of Izmir. The study aimed to understand and map flood-prone area in urban setting by analyzing various geographical factors. And Dr. Nurali and Andaryani in 2020 focused on assessing flood susceptibility in highly populated urban regions by employing multi-criteria decision-making and fuzzy logic techniques. This study integrates various criteria such as land use, slope, drainage density, rainfall, and proximity to river, using GIS to evaluate the vulnerability of urban area to floods. The study purpose in which part of Clay County is more vulnerable to flood and which factor have the most impacts. The weighted overlay method is a GIS technique used to assess and prioritize area based on multiple criteria or factors. There is a basic idea about the weighted overlay method, which gives the range of spatial score multiplying each criteria, but its weight based on relative importance. Then summing up all the score, which is the result is going to be a unitless index value. Just like figure 1 for a spatial raster, by giving each criteria score and multiplies. This is commonly applied in flood risk assessment to determine areas most susceptible to flooding by considering various influencing factors. The weighted overlay method allows for a systematic and especially explicit analysis of flood risk. And here an overview of how the weighted overlay method can be used for flood risk assessments. First, identify factors affecting flood risk. Begin by identifying and gathering spatial data on factors contributing to flood risk. To normalize and standardize data. Ensure compatibility. This involves converting different data type and scales into a uniform format for analysis. 3. Assign weight to factors. Assign the weight to each factor based on its importance in contributing to flood risk. The weight represents the relative significance of each factor. 4. Multiply factor by weight. Multiply each normalized factor by its assigned weight to create a weighted raster or grid layer for each factor. This results in multiple raster layers, each represent the influence of a specific factor weighted by its importance. The next one, aggregate weighted layer. Combine the weighted raster layer using a weighted overlay function. This involves summing or combining the individuals weighted layer to generate a composite flood risk map. And the final one, generate a flood risk map that highlight areas most susceptible to flooding based on the weighted combination of various factors. And here we have a brief flow chart of our work in which we got the thematic maps of factors by effective factor on floods and their interaction rate with GIS and reclassified them in terms of their domain. In this study, we weighted the importance and effectiveness of each factor by inspiring previous studies that classified each factor into 2, 4, or 5 groups, and various unvalidated data have been utilized in this study. And the first important parameter is elevation. The average elevation of the basin plays a significant role in the distribution of precipitation and also affect the quantitative and qualitative status of the vegetation cover in the basin, thereby influencing the effective runoff. With lower parts of the study are being more vulnerable to hazardous floods. Slope degree is essential controlling parameter in slope stability assessment. Generally, with an increase in the slope angle, the area with a lower slope is more likely to cause hazardous floods. In this way, except for the lower right part of the county, the entire area are more vulnerable to flood hazards. Distance from road. The proximity and density of road pavements and parking lots near river margins lead to heightened vulnerability during flood events. Was observed that the western part of Clay County, which include the Morehead city, have the least proximity to roads and are thus more prone to the hazardous floods. Distance from river factor is highly significant in the assessment of flood risk. Flowing water can influence slope failures through erosion or saturations of materials at the foot of the slope. Proximity to river greatly affect flood risk, with the middle part of the study site being more likely to experience hazardous flooding due to their proximity to rivers. The rainfall intensity plays a crucial role in the occurrence of floods, and there exists a direct relationship between rainfall and flooding. Studies show lower rainfall occurred in the northeastern and southeastern part of the county compared to the middle and eastern parts. Land use, land cover type have varying abilities to absorb water and influence debris flow, significantly impact flood occurrence, and have heavily influenced by LULC, with agriculture lands being more vulnerable to hazardous flooding compared to areas covered by vegetation in Clay County. Drainage, and the final one, drainage density, measuring the concentration of channels within an area significantly influence flooding dynamics. High density implies numerous pathways for water flow affecting flood susceptibility. And this is the flood hazard map. The result of the study showed that the northern to southern and southeastern parts of Clay County, as well as the western parts, especially Morehead City, are particularly vulnerable to hazardous floods. These findings highlighted the importance of proactive flood mitigation measures in these regions, such as the implementation of flood barriers or early warning systems. To further enhance the accuracy of flood risk mapping, it is recommended to incorporate potential factors such as soil moisture, topography, and climate change projections. And I would like to express my warmest thanks to my Professor Dr. Noorani and the announcers for inviting me such valuable conference, and thank you all for your attention. If there is any questions, I'm here to answer them all. Thank you. And sorry for my delay.
No worries, Dr. Hadipur Ali. No worries about the delay. It was a perfect presentation, and it was quite good that at the end you shared your email for further questions as well. So I think that will be all for today. That is the end of our first day, and thank you for attending to all. Thank you again.
Hayat hızla akıyor ve biz bu hızı seviyoruz. Her güne heyecanla başlıyor, her anı doya doya yaşıyoruz. İlk günkü heyecanımızla yılları aşıyoruz. Zaman akarken biz de kendimizi arıyoruz. Heyecanla, merakla. Sen de kendini mi arıyorsun? O zaman zamana yetiş. Bu sadece kendini bulmakla ilgili değil. Asıl heyecan kendini yaratmakta. Bir şeyler mi yaratmak istiyorsun? Mükemmel. Metali işlemeyi, bir bina yapmayı, bir iş kurmayı, hatta bir şehir kurmayı öğren. Hayat kurtarmak, teknoloji geliştirmek, üretmek. Hepsi burada. Ve burada tüm deneyimler profesyonellerle yan yana. Ancak hızlı ilerlemeliyiz. Çünkü bugün şimdi gerçekleşiyor ve yarın çok yakın. Hayatta öne geçmek istiyorsan önce zamanın önüne geçeceksin. Hep ileri gideceksin. Bu Doktor Suat İrfan Günsel. Tanıyor musun? Onun da söylediği gibi üniversiteler toplumların dokuma tezgahıdır. Toplumları geliştirir, dönüştürür ve gelişmesini sağlar. O burayı bugünden yarına hazırlamak için kurdu. Senin için, ileriye gitmek için. Yana ya da geriye değil. Sadece ileri. Çünkü gelecek çok yakın. Hadi harekete geç. Fikirlerin ne kadar ileride olursa yarına o kadar yaklaşırsın. Yanındakileri de geleceğe taşırsın. Bu senin geleceğin, senin fırsatın şimdi. Hadi yarın yakın. Hepimizi ileriye götür.